Morning, it's evening here, so it's 4:30 p.m. on Sunday. So you're up early. Hi, Danielle. Hi, Joe. Hi, Anne. Oh, that's great. Everyone's dropping in now. That's brilliant. So I'm going to wait a minute or so, just to let everybody sort of come in here. Fabulous. Now I've activated, you can turn your video on if you want to. I've turned the sound off at the moment. This is mainly, this workshop is mainly just to sort of go over what we're going to be doing in the next few weeks. So it's going to be good. I'm going to take you through a course really quickly, but don't worry about trying to keep up with me or any of that stuff. I'm just going to go over, I'm going to broadly touch all the areas. And then the following week's workshops, we're going to actually go in depth on all of those things. So I'm going to be sharing my screen and showing you a few things. So hi Bosco. I can see a few people in here from Kevin's blog challenge. Hi Dana. Hi Tracy. Yeah, great. John's in as well. Hi John. Right, that's great. Okay, we've got quite a few in now, and it is 4:31. So I'm going to share my screen and show you what I'm going to supply to you. Now, what I've done is I've done a handout sheet for you guys to follow. So if you stay with my workshops and you do all of them, then you're going to sort of see how you're filling things up. There is a little bit of homework this week, but don't get stressed out about it, because if you don't get all the things you need, it doesn't matter. You can, like images and things, you can pull off Pixabay and you can use that. It's basically just to get you thinking about what you need to do in preparation for creating a course or even a membership site. So these are just things going through. I'm also going to supply sort of PDFs as we go through workshops as well. If you are watching on the replay, you should find it below the video, so you can grab the handout sheet. So the first one I've got here is going to be just taking you through what we're going to be doing over the next few weeks. So I've got this set up as 7 weeks. You'll be like, oh God, 7 weeks. But we might get to bits quicker. It might take longer. This is the first time I'm doing it with live people. So, you know, if these go longer and it takes longer to get to where we need to be, that's fine. You know, that's absolutely fine. The main thing is here that you're understanding the concepts of it all really, really well. And I'm not going to rush through if you guys are stuck with things, okay? Because I do realize I'm doing this stuff all the time, so I can work quite fast and confuse people. So you might need to slow me down if I do. And the workshops, what I'm going to do is let the video and the sound open all the time, so you guys can shout out, but don't shout out until I sort of tell you, unless I'm doing something like not screen sharing or something stupid like that. Okay guys, so what we've got here is the first workshop that we're doing today is going to be a quick tour and a talk about what we're going to be doing over the coming weeks, which I've just sort of explained. So next week we're going to be creating our first course. And then the following week, we're going to be working on the same course. Now, I'm estimating it's going to take 2 weekends because I want to be really carefully understanding the foundations of the course, and things like, we've got to talk about things like media types that you're putting in there. That in itself could take ages. Like, we've got assignments to cover, quizzes, these sort of things. So it's a big thing, you know, to actually put a course together is really quick if you've got it, if you're just putting videos in there. But if you're using things like you're putting quizzes in there, you're putting surveys in there, you're doing assignments, you know, you can imagine assignments alone could fill up an hour and a half on its own. So there will be a session and things might get knocked on if I haven't covered it enough and you don't understand, and you really need that part of it covered fully for you to carry on, then we will. So next one we've got after, which will be week 4, will be getting deep with course options. So this will be looking at all of the kind of pricing things like tiers, you know, bundles. Bundles are going to play a big part when we come to week 5, which is pricing and membership types. So we're going to be looking at them. We're also going to be looking at things like automations as well in there. We're going to be looking at advanced filtering in there. Now, if this is like confusing you already, don't worry, I'm going to take it really, really slow, and I'll pull back if I have to make sure that you fully understand. So don't worry about this. You're just going to learn all the aspects of course creation. So that will be getting deep with course options. So then we're going to move on to that. At that stage, we should have a course together, and you should have a full understanding of all the pricing, tiers, bundles, dripping content, automations, you know, how to take images, you know, create your own images, things like in Canva, getting the right sizes, best practices, show you some quick tips for speeding up that process as well, quite a lot. And also then setting you up for moving forwards. So pricing and membership types is 5. So what we're going to do there is you'll already have an understanding of all the pricing and those sort of things, but tying that in with a membership site is very different for different people. So I'm going to cover sort of 3 or 4 options, and I'm also going to open this up so that you guys can tell me what you want, and I can sort of show you practically how to do that as well. So pricing and membership is going to be a big one, that one. I might knock on for the second week, because I know a lot of you are doing things like therapy, you know, dog training, these kind of things where you might be doing one-to-one and want that to work with lives and things like that. So this could knock on a bit. After that, we're going to move on to kind of final phases, which is advanced course ideas. So this is looking at thinking outside the box with what you're working on and making it work for you. Maybe not using things like the dynamic blocks, you know, maybe replacing that with manually made ones and things like that. And also taking some of the page builder aspects and incorporating into some of the course curriculums and these kind of things. So lots of stuff that we're going to talk to in advanced course ideas, and I'm going to open it up because you're going to be telling me what you need to achieve, and then I'm going to try and think live how to achieve that for you there and then. So that's going to be quite a good one. All of these I reckon will be an hour and a half to at least 2 hours, from 2 to 6, 2 to 7. So this one will probably be about an hour, hour and a half. So lastly, we have week 7, which is a Q&A session, and we're going to have a look at your site. So if you've managed to achieve something in some shape or form, we can have a look if you don't mind sharing it. If not, don't worry, just join in with the Q&A session. So what you've got here is you've got a sheet, and you can check off, you can print this out, or you can do it digitally, and you can check off all of the workshops that you attended. I will be putting inside of the workshop on the replay page after them, I will be putting the link to the next workshop so you can get in there quickly. And also I'll be setting up a page where we will have all these videos. So if you guys missed any, you'll be able to jump to it and watch that one and then catch up that way. And I might ask you if you're catching up or not. I do tend to see the people that are on here, so I'll get to know you all. So that's going to be good. So when you're finished with all the workshops, you can click off, you've completed it. So what I need you guys to do is, as we work through in a minute, setting up a quick course and me sort of jumping about a bit, showing you where things are, what I'm going to need from you is for you to do certain things. Now, you can do as much or as little as you want, really, because like I said, you can use things like Lorium text to drop text in for summaries and these sort of things. But ideally, it would be good if you have a goal and you start to fill these out and think about it. And it shouldn't take you too long. You remember, you can change the images. You don't have to launch and publish after we finish these workshops. It's up to you. You can take your time and do that later. So number one, what you need to do is you need to think of a name for your course. So it should be something catchy, you know, like learn, like I do ZBrush, like learn ZBrush in 2 days or something. So it's like boom. So you could do something like that. Now, if you're doing a membership site, okay, because this will be different. If you've got a membership site, you're probably going to put your modules or your courses inside the membership site. So you can still do this. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to create a course, and then I'm going to show you how to take that course and turn that into a membership site. Okay. So none of this is wasted time with what you're doing. So set the course up, think about it. Like I did one for like health and well-being, and inside there I had a meditation, yoga and Pilates class. Okay, and then I put that into the membership site. I did that as a video. So that's the kind of way that it can work. So there's modules inside a membership. Now, if you guys don't want modules in there, and I tell you what, you do want modules, because modules inside there or courses inside there will allow you to access different course access pages. Now, again, if that means nothing to you, don't worry, we're going to talk about it. So think of a name is point one. So number two is obviously write a summary for your course. So you can take an excerpt. If you're doing a long course description, you could take an excerpt from that and use that as your summary. So start sourcing images for the course. So start thinking about images that you're going to use in there. You want to be setting the main body text for the course as well. So that's like a extension of the summary, like a detail of what your course is about or your membership site. Then we need to think about things like CTAs and catchy, impactful words. So you might use these for like main, to hit you straight away as you come in, or you might want a big button on there or something for your main sales page. So you want to think about catchy words. It shouldn't just be about the course, just a long description about the course and then the name of the course. You should be thinking of ways of drawing people into the course as well. All right. So again, this handout sheet goes out there. If you need to ask me questions, you can PM me and I'll tell you more, but they pretty much make sense as they're written. So what you need to also do, and this would be really beneficial, I know a few of you have already, but it's definitely watch the branding and design course that I did with Ian Hamilton, because that will give you an idea of your kind of identity and the colors that you're using. Now, I do realize a lot of you have probably already created courses and things, so using this to pull out more of the advanced features, which is absolutely fine. But you guys that haven't, then just come on the journey with me. So make sure you've got your font and you've got your colors. Make sure you watch the branding and design course that's inside the NZ Masterclass bundle. That's tutorials.newzenler.com. Scroll down, NZ Masterclass bundle. Once you're in there, go to the bottom, secondary courses, and you'll find branding and design. So next is 7. So as you're working through these workshops, get into the habit of asking questions, writing questions down that you may have for the Q&A sessions when I open things up. Reason being is that as you're working through things, you do have questions, and sometimes you work on the next part and then you forget the question and it could be a valid question. So if you can write that down as well, that would be really good. When you've done all those things, check it off and then you're done. So pretty easy. So like I said, as I'm going through these, I'm going to be creating more PDFs for you to have. So there's going to be a lot more information coming your way on these. So I'm going to give you this download. So I'm going to put this into the chat. There it is there. So that's a PDF file. So Melanie's saying the link doesn't work. Okay, good. Okay. See if that's working, guys. If you can download it, it's just a zip file, so it should work. Yep, it's working. Good, brilliant. All right. Okay, so courses. So let's get into this. So at the moment, I've got this site here that we're going to be working in, and we're going to jump across. Sorry, I'm looking at the chat as well, folks. Everything's on. And Dana, oh, great. Cheers, Dana. Yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to touch on where courses are. So if you're in your admin area, okay, all you need to do is come across to courses. And if you haven't got any courses, you're going to have something like this pop up. Now, when you do come into courses, you're going to have lots of things on this side that we're going to go through, but we're not going to worry about it too much at the moment. Pretty much all of them are sort of self-explanatory. So we've got bundles. Bundles are, we can put courses, you've got multiple courses, you can put them in a bundle. Okay, so single courses are single courses on their own. We can set categories for courses. We can also, this is where we see the assignments, if we have any assignments in any of the courses, okay, they show under there. We can also set coupons up. Again, we're going to cover this. You can see instructors, students, reviews, certificates, the video library, any videos you've uploaded, and reports in there on the courses. So to create a course, really easy, guys, click create course. So this is where that worksheet that I gave you is really important, because you've got a course title and you've got a course subtitle. So a course subtitle could be some sort of impactful word. So I'm going to call this Courses Made Easy. Create a course in less than an hour. All right, and then your course summary in here. So whatever, if you don't want to put one in there, it's good, but it's a good idea to put something in there just to start you off. So I tend to use, if I need dummy text, okay, I normally use like Lorem text. So if you put Lorem ipsum in here, that looks like kind of sort of Italian type writing, you're going to find Lorem text there. So it's lipsum.com. And you can set how many paragraphs you want to generate, or words even, and you can click generate Lorem. So it gives you some text in here. So as this is, I'm going to take part of this. I tend to leave this page open, then I can just grab text and put it in. Remember, this is, we're just creating a skeleton at the moment. We can fill it out later. We're not publishing, so no one's seeing this. So no one's buying it because we haven't got any prices set up. So once I've copied that text, I can come in there and I can just type that. I can just paste that in there. And then I can click create course. And what's happening in the background now is that the system has set up some default templates. So it's set up the pages, it's put us onto the course curriculum page, which is also called the course player page, okay? We've got access up here via these little tabs to each of the areas. So when you have students in your course, you can see them in here. Okay, you can also filter them via people as well, which I'll be showing. And you can also see the course details. So you can come back to this page, and the course details will give you the course subtitles that you put in. It will also give you the course title that you put in, and it will also give you the URL in here. Now you're going to notice that this URL that's generated that you can change, okay, is basically based off of the course title. Okay, so you could come in here and change this and click update, and it would update. Under instructors, we can also set instructors up in here if you have other instructors, so you could turn you off and put another one on. And we can also set categories up to it. I'm not going to set any categories up at the moment. We'll do that next week. So you can also, we have other options down here, such as make the course featured. And again, I will explain that. Basically, it goes into a featured block, dynamic block. We can also make the course price hidden. This can be really good if you want the course to be up there, but you don't want anyone to buy it yet. So you want people to look at the sales page, but not buy anything yet. You can make the course price hidden. Okay, we're going to cover all these things, so you don't need to take it all in now. We're going to cover it very slowly, and I'm going to demonstrate it to you so that it really locks in there. I prefer to visually show you things. It stays with you much better than me talking and talking and talking. So next one we've got here is make the course secret. So this was, even if you published it and you make it secret, it will not show in the dynamic blocks. Again, we'll talk about that. And you can enable certificate for the course as well if you've got certificates set up. And you can show the course progress between screens. So there's a little progress bar, and some people like it turned off. I like it turned off, so I turn it off. Otherwise, it shows the progress of the student as they go through the course. So that's that page done. So again, here, over here, we do have something. It is your course card, okay? Now, the recommended size, and we're going to cover this, is 860 by 480 pixels. You're like, what? What's that mean? Well, pixels are just the size. So I'll be showing you in Canva, you can set that size yourself. In Pixlr, which is a program that I use, which is you can use for free, you can also set those sizes. Again, we're going to talk about all of that. So that's where we can put the course card image. We can also show ratings on the course card as well. And wherever you see these little question marks, you guys probably already know. If you click on those, it gives you a little bit more information about each of those areas. So if you're not sure, then always just go over this and just check. Okay. Next one is the main curriculum. Now, this is where we put our course together. And we have sections and we have lessons inside of sections. So each section, so imagine it, you've got like module 1, you know, create your site pages. And then you might have another section, module 2, create your course. And then inside those sections can be lessons on how to do it. Like in the first section, it could be using page builder, second section using automations or email broadcasts. So you can set lessons up in there. So when it pops up on your curriculum, you can see there's a section and underneath it, there's lessons inside it. And then you move to the next section and you can set as many sections and lessons up within sections as you like. You can also name it in here. So let me just call this module 1. Setting up your pages. Okay. And then I click save. And then I can add a lesson by clicking in here. There's other things we can do. We can bulk upload files. So this is what I do with my courses. I produce a lot of videos. I'll produce about 10, and then I will bulk upload them in one go. And then I'll just sort the order out. And I'll be showing you how I do it personally. It might help you speed the process of creating courses. You can also copy lessons from one to another as well. And we can add a lesson. Again, we'll be showing you this. So if I just add a simple lesson in here, as soon as you add a lesson, you're going to see it's going to appear underneath the main section. And you can again name this whatever you like. So site settings, and I click save. You can see it's now appeared in there. And now we have these options inside here to add media types. So inside Zenler, we can add video. We can add audio for like podcasts. We can add PowerPoint presentations. We can add PDFs, text, custom code, which is normally HTML code. We can also upload or have downloads in here. So we can also set quizzes up, surveys, SCORM packages, and HTML. Now, I will not be covering this, but I will give you a kind of an example of how it works. And we have assignments in here. Now, if you cannot get access to some of these, because I realize, I don't know how many of you guys are working with the free beta version. Are any of you, are you all on the Pro and Premium? You're all on, yeah, most of you are on Pro. That's good. All right. So a word of warning. Yeah, you all are. Good. Oh, that's brilliant. Okay. Oh, free. Patricia. Okay, Patricia. Yeah, a few of you are free. So if you don't have the option to use things like assignments, then just don't worry about it. Just watch the video and see, you know, if you think that's a good feature. And we'll be jumping to lives as well. You won't have access to live. So if you think that's a good feature, then think about upgrading. Because then you will have access to those. So some of those, if they're not available, when you click on it, you will not have the option. So when you click like this, it will just say you have to upgrade. Okay, but you do have the ability to add video, audio, PowerPoint, PDF, text, custom code. I think you can upload SCORM, but I'm not sure. You have the option of the basic quiz and I think surveys and downloads. So you have quite a lot that you can do, so you can still follow along. I'm going to give you examples of all, so you can just make it work for you, or if you think this is something you're definitely going to do, then upgrade. Okay, so to add a new section in here, we can just hit add new section, and we can go in there and name that. So you can call that module 2. You can name it what you like, and course creation. So I just do that, and once again, I could add a new lesson in here as well. All right, so that's how we can fill up our course curriculum. There's a lot of stuff we can do in there, and I'll be pointing you to some of the videos. If rather than talk about them, I might send you to a video just to watch it to see how you can change and vary these things inside here. So once we've done, we don't need to do this first of all, we just need to set it up. So it's like I said to you guys in that check sheet, I didn't mention anything about setting sections up or lesson lectures. And the thing is, it's up to you, because you can start it off. So you don't need to put anything of relevance in there. You can just set up this. You could just put some text in here and go this to be done later. Okay. So because you're basically filling it out ready for your content, because, you know, as we know, like Zenler system is really quick, but the hard thing and the longest thing about course creation is actually getting all the content together, because you're busily organizing. How can I make this the best experience for a user? I'm going to use a video there. I'm going to use PowerPoint there. And then you've got to structure it in your folders to make sure it all makes sense. And then you upload it, and you can upload it really quickly into the system. And that's the quick part. So we all know that the longest part is actually writing the copy and also getting your course together. So you can put a framework in like this to be done later. You can set the sections up. If you know you've got roughly 5 sections, doesn't matter if you've got 4, if you've got 10, you can add some later. But if you start putting something in here so you can see how it works, that's what I need you to do, because we can go over the media types later and you can see what you can do with them later. So that's why I didn't include it in that check sheet, because it really doesn't matter. We're just setting the site up and getting everything ready to put all your content into when you've got it done, which is the longest part. So once you've done that, just put a few sections in there. Just call it section 1, just put lesson 1 test, do section 2, and then put under there section 2 test. Just do a few of those just so you can see how it's going to look, and just get used to adding lessons and those sort of things. So once you've done that, and I'll talk about that, I'll go through all that with you next week anyway, we're going to move on to pages. So Zenler automatic, when you create a course, sets up a series of pages. It sets up a sales page. So the sales page is always the page where people come to buy something. So it's really got to hit them. It's got to get the message across to them really quickly that they can't do without this course, and they buy into it from the sales page. It's the most important page. Obviously, they've got to like your content as well. Otherwise, they're going to ask for a refund if you offer one. So the sales page and the actual course access page, these are the critical pages, and sales page is so important because it's driving people through. So once they land on the sales page and they love what you do, which they obviously will, they're then going to click the button and they're going to go through to the checkout process. So this is where they take payment. Okay. Then after you've had a successful payment, they will go to the thank you page and they will get automatic access to the course access page. Now, something to bear in mind, and I'm going to repeat this numerous times as we go through, the course access page is the only page you cannot get to unless you've paid for the course. It's a locked page. You cannot get into it unless you've bought the course. So this opens lots of possibilities for turning it into a membership page, one-page membership page, and bypassing the curriculum we looked at earlier. And we're going to cover that later in the membership course, which is week 6 or 7. So 6, I think. So that's something you need to bear in mind. This page is public, checkout page public, thank you page is public, course access page, no, unless they bought it, you can't get into it. These pages are all highly editable using the page builder. Okay. The URL for these pages is self-generated here, and it's all based off of the course name. So course is made easy, /by. You can copy this here. So if you need to give a URL to someone, you can just click there to copy the URL and send it to them. You can also in here preview the page. So even though these pages are locked and no one could get into them, and we haven't even published the course, because you're in the admin side, you can get access to preview the page. Now, there's a difference between previewing the page as an admin and previewing the page as a test student, which we'll talk about later when I publish the course and I show you I walk you through the different methods of becoming a test student to your course. And that's so important. Being a test student and actually testing everything's working, including the payment, is critical. You want to be receiving the emails that you get from the system, making sure everything's okay before you actually release it to anybody. So again, you know, we're going to cover that. So it's you know, it's just really, really important areas, testing. Can't emphasize that enough. To edit the pages, we can click the little edit button here. Okay. To preview the page, we can click here and it'll open a new tab up. So this is the default page. Notice this course is not open for enrollment. The reason being we have no prices set up, okay, and it's not published. So you wouldn't be able to get into this. If you tried to put this onto, look, we've got preview on there, that little URL. John, I think you made the mistake there of putting the putting a link in there with preview equals on, which is previewing as a admin. So if I was to actually take this here and I was to go into incognito, and this is the way we test pages. I'm using Chrome, by the way, really important to use Chrome. You can click this little three little dots, new incognito window, paste it in there, hit enter, and oops, page cannot be found because one, it's not published. So it's not going to be found. So you'll be like, well, how can I see it when I'm logged in as admin? Because you are admin, you can get access to it, you can preview it, but no one else can. The search engines can't find it. Nobody can find this. So you get this error message. Okay. So if you see that, that's why you haven't got a pricing plan and you have not published the course. So no one else can see it apart from you. So that you breathe a sigh of relief when you, you know, you're creating this and like, oh, I hope people can't go in and find it. No, they cannot because you haven't published it. So all of these pages you can go in and you can preview, and none of them are accessible because in incognito as a student, because you can't set it. So this in here, this is the checkout page. Checkout page, you can see I have no pricing plans. Why? Because we haven't set any up. So this is the base templates that we set up for you. We do expect you to highly modify these using Page Builder. Again, I'm going to walk you through a simple design and you get the hang of it. If you're creating your site pages already, then this will be a breeze. Okay, you just need to know a few little things, but it's exactly the same using the Page Builder. So we try and use the Page Builder as much as possible because that way you're familiar with it and you can pick it up really easily. And again, we have the thank you page here. So thank you page, you can change this. This is a block in here that can be highly editable. And lastly, the course access page. So if I preview this, what you're going to see is the little progress bar here. By the way, we can remove this and we can remove this. And we also have the course curriculum. You're going to notice site settings. So module 1, and then it says site settings. Okay. But I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, what about module 2? You put module 2, course creation. Yeah, it's not showing, is it? It's not showing because there's no lesson in it. So if I show you now, if I jump back to the curriculum and we look in here, there's no lesson. So if I go and add a lesson in here, I'll just call it test. And then I click save. And then we come back to there and I just refresh this. There we go. It's popped up. So that's something to bear in mind. If you create sections and they haven't got any lessons in there, they won't show in the curriculum. All right. So that could be good for you. You'd start filling things out and not even on a live site, you could actually set things up and put things into things like draft mode in here. So they don't actually show. So that whole section doesn't show until you want to release it. Again, we're going to cover this, guys, so don't worry. So we've looked at the course details, the curriculum, the page, and we need to look at pricing because pricing obviously is a big one because you want to make money. So under the pricing plan, you're always going to have add new price plan. If you haven't got any, you have to add one. Now, the thing with pricing plans is you can have multiple plans. So you could have a payment option. If your course was, say, $1,000, you could have 4 payments of $250. You know, you can have a single one-off payment. You can have free. You can have a running subscription. So there's all these different options. So to add a new payment plan, we need to click add new payment. It's going to give us this. Now, something to bear in mind, guys, if you haven't done it already, make sure that you are connected up. Go to site, go to integrations, and make sure that you are connected up to Stripe or PayPal. If you are using the free version, you'll only have access to signing, integrating with Stripe. Okay, you haven't got PayPal. For you guys that are on the Pro and Premium, you have access to both, but you need to have at least one of these active to be able to set up a pricing plan for your course. All right. So I should have put that in the checklist. You need to make sure that you have one of the payment methods integrated. And we've got lots of videos of this at tutorials.newzenler.com. So if you go to the tutorials Zenler and you go down and you go into sign up here, make sure that you go into complete guide to Zenler, where there's search functionality in there to find Stripe. If you can't find it, guys, post it on the Facebook group. We'll get back to you, or the community will get back to you, because you've probably done it before, a lot of you guys anyway. So make sure you've definitely got one of those payment options. Otherwise, your course, you cannot put your prices in there. So I've jumped back to course now. You can see it's here. And I'll jump back into edit and prices. So once you have got a pricing thing set up, you can then choose free, one-time purchase, subscription, or payment plan. Now, I'm not going to jump into these and show you these. We'll do it as we're going, because there's a lot of different options for things like subscription. All right, we've got things like initial fees, all sorts of things going on in there. You can also set tiers up. Again, we're going to cover all of this anyway. You've got the free plan here, so you can make it free. Free's good, because I'll give you an example of free. I do ZBrush, which is like 3D sculpting software package. And for my courses, I've got quite a lot of courses, but I was trying to, when I create a course, I try and do it for beginners to advanced users. And I was finding that at the beginning of all of my courses, I was having to do a basic course. I was having to put it at the beginning, like, you guys that don't know anything about ZBrush, this is where you go for this is how you navigate, this is what brushes are. So I was like so fed up with it, I thought, you know what, I'll just create a free course on the basics of ZBrush. It's about 3 hours long. I've done it once, then I can jump straight into my main workshops. And what's happened with that, because I made it free, is I get loads of people come in because it's free content. People love free content. Then they like your teaching style, and then they buy into your course. So for me, that's my kind of lead magnet. That's my video series funnel. That's an actual course doing it for me. And I can shout about it. Not only do you get access to the course when you buy my course, but here, look, there's a freebie for you. So it's a really good way of selling. So free thing is a good thing. There we got one-time purchase, which is one-time purchase, subscriptions, and payment plans. So that is all our pricing inside here. And then we move on to drip. So all drip means is that if someone signs up, you can drip content out to them. So you can say, right, take this section week 1, and I'm not going to let you take the next section for another week or another 3 weeks or another couple of days. So what will happen is when they sign up, that other area will not be accessible to them until that time has elapsed. Okay, so you're dripping the content out. Now, why would you do this? There's a few reasons. One, if you've got a 30-day policy on refunds, it's a good way to keep the engagement there, because they're not getting access to the full thing. And when the 30 days runs out, they're already in there and they're passed, so they don't get a refund. That's how some people use it. I don't like using that. What I do is I give people, regardless of time, as long as they haven't completed more than 25% of my courses, I give them a refund. That's how I do it. If they complete more than that, no refund. That's just how I work. But there's lots of different ways. So that's how drip works. We're going to cover that. Next, we have automations. Now, this is very powerful. We can send out emails based on when they enroll or when they complete a course, and when they finish certain sections, lessons, and those sort of things. So we can actually set, so we're going to go through all that. That's going to take a while. Yeah, the more I think about it, I might have to do 8 weeks or 9. So we'll see how much we get done. So yeah, email automations. You're going to see automations are used a lot for you guys. That I know a lot of you have already done the lots of the workshops I've already done, like forms and funnels. So I covered a lot of automation in there. So it's the main thing, and the way the automation works is pretty much the same in different sections. So in lives, if someone registers, and then you can send automations out. If you're setting funnels up, again, you can send automations out, and it all works in the same way. There might be slightly different words like on enroll or on course complete, but the actual functionality is exactly the same. So nothing new to learn there. And once you start to think about it, when we start getting in there, you'll actually say, oh, that makes sense. You can do things like tagging as well. You can remove tags, add tags, so it's easier for you to filter out. You can add them to things like email lists, all these sort of things we're going to have a look at. So the last one on here is students, and under students, it's going to flip to where students are on that course that they're enrolled in. You can filter them out, which courses they are enrolled in, and you can see your students in there. So that is courses for you. So basically what I've done just then is created a course. I haven't put the pricing in, but I've created the course. So we are going to run through things like bundles, categories, assignments, coupons, all these things. And we're going to look at the way that they show on the page as well. So it's going to be really exciting for you guys to see all this. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So right, okay, so I'm going to jump to the chat. I'm going to just turn my screen share off, and I'm going to unmute you all. So if you have any questions about what we're going to be doing, if it's all clear, if you want to ask something that we are going to cover or we're not going to cover, then you can. So I've unmuted you all. So guys, got any questions? Who's going to be the first? Come on, John. Linda.
I'll go first.
Yeah, hello. Is it, I mean, I don't mind. My question was, are we able to do custom URL? And does the Zenler domain name brand stay at the top of the page? Is there any way we can put our own logo up there instead?
With regards to what? To the actual...
Well, when I say custom URL, you showed where it generates that URL and we can change that last section.
Oh, yes.
But typically what you can also do is go to your hosting provider, use one of the custom domains that you already have with GoDaddy.com.
Oh, yeah.
And you can point it to, and then that's what shows up in the address bar versus that long thing that we saw. So you said that's possible?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. With the site that we're working on at the moment, this hasn't got a custom domain added to it. But yeah, if you're adding your own custom domain or custom subdomain like this, then you can it will actually just revert to that. So it'll always say your custom domain, and it'll say / whatever the URL of the course is.
Okay. And then the second question was, I saw Zenler at the top, and maybe that's when we were in editing, because I don't see it now. So I guess my second question's answered, that we can replace the Zenler logo with our custom logo so that the customer sees, it looks like our brand completely and not somebody else's.
Right. That the customer never sees this admin area. This is purely you as the admin user. Yeah. The students, they see a completely different view. They don't see that.
Perfect.
Yeah. I'll be showing all of that when we test as a student. It will be really crystal clear. Good question. Good question, Mike. Sorry, Linda.
Yes. Hi. So I was trying to personalize the emails that go out, and I know a lot of them you can actually put your logo in a signature block, right? And you can go to language, and you can change it throughout the whole system. But I forget where I was. I think it was in live or something, and the emails. I know it's in a different area, but is there ways to make that all consistent too, one time?
Well, you could set up. This is purely on courses, Linda.
Yes,
so-
I know. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't want to get off topic with that. If you want to PM me, you can set up an email template, and you can reuse that in any place that you can send emails out through.
Okay, but I have to go to each one of them and then cut and paste and put it in there, right?
Yes.
That's what it comes down to.
Yes.
Okay, that's my basic question then. That's my basic question. If I can't find it in the language part,
right. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, you can't set up like an email signature like you would like from something like Outlook at the moment.
Okay,
Right.
so that was my basic question.
Good.
I have another one, but I'll ask later. Okay.
Right, lovely. I'm going to jump to John. John, have you got your microphone on? I can't hear you. Right. Okay. Yeah. John.
Okay.
John's got.
Now,
I can hear you. We can hear
good.
you.
Okay. Helen in the chat has said Helen's had a hand up. So whoever Helen is might want to ask the question.
Oh, okay.
I'm Helen, and my question was for the pricing options, would you start using something more like Klarna?
Pardon?
Ah, you are not Swedish, I can hear. It's coming very big in Sweden, and there's a lot of Swedish people in this new Zenler. It's called Klarna.
Okay.
Klarn. Or will you only have those pricing things that you showed us?
Yes. At the moment, we got the free subscription, the one-off, and we got payment plans. What are you trying to do?
No, you talked about Stripe and PayPal, and I want other options to pay with.
Oh, no. Presently, those are the options. We've got Stripe, PayPal, and Razorpay that is for the Indian marketplace.
Okay, thanks.
But there might be new stuff coming. It's just we're not at the moment. Okay. John?
Again, Norma asked if she can ask a question.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to catch the people in the chat who are wanting to ask questions.
Oh, brilliant. Okay. You're going to be a co-host then. That's superb. Hi, Norma.
Okay, thank you. My question is again about payment. I'm from South Africa and I haven't figured out yet how I'm going to sort out my payment. So now you're saying that we cannot process a course without entering our payment details through Stripe or PayPal. So what does this mean for me? Can't I arrange, say, payment outside of the system and enter students manually?
You can, Norma. In fact, I've been working on that because I know a lot of you guys use things like Thrivecart. So you process your payments outside. So I'm working on doing a video very soon on 2Checkout, which I think works for the South African marketplace. So I'm looking at others, and I'm going to try and build up a sort of video series to tackle these things. We don't generally deal with outside integrations in, but this is really needed. So that's why I'm looking into it. Rakesh all the time is looking at what you guys are saying, and I'm sure that they are going to try to find more ways to have different payment gateways. But in the meantime, I'm going to try to put something together. I'll prioritize this, Norma, so I can get a way that's going to work for different countries. So you might see some posts come up on the Facebook group. I'll definitely shout about this when I've got some videos put together for you, and then you can use that. So it might not be covered in this course, but I will be doing it outside that. And if I've done it before the course is finished, then I will tell you inside the workshop.
Okay, my other question is it possible for somebody to arrange for me some kind of code so that I can enter a South African button for payment with a South African payment processing, credit card processing, because most of my clients are going to be South African, and whether it is, even if it is Stripe card or other solution, it is still in dollars, and they don't like here to, to do processing in dollars, because like if most of my clients are South African, even my affiliates, if I'm going to do, they're going to be South African. And if there's no solution for them, I'm stuck. I can't sell even.
Yeah, the best option, like I said, that's what I'm going to do. I'm at education here. I don't develop any of the new features for Zenler or anything they're adding in there. So, but what I would say to you is that you can contact support@zenler.com and you can ask them directly. So that would be that's the only thing I can do. Okay.
Another suggestion, Norma, might be to check with Stripe and or PayPal to see what currencies you can set, because I've got Canadian and US dollars, for instance.
No, they don't allow it in South Africa.
Okay.
That's right.
Oh, the banking system doesn't allow it.
Yeah.
So, David, I'll go next and just say this is brilliant. I've got some courses, built 3 courses, actually some free ones as well. And so I'm looking to catch up and fill in the blanks where I've made mistakes and so on, and really looking forward to the membership as well to put the 3 courses into one. In fact, one of the courses will be a subscription. The other ones are paid. So what you're going to be doing is wonderful. Thank you very much.
That's all right, John. Yeah, we're going to try and cover as many of these kind of like, because you as instructors, you all work in slightly a different way. So I've got to get my head switched on and jump between all these different scenarios. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun ride. I'm sure there'll be some mistakes from my side trying to come up with all these different ways of working, but it's going to be good. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
So the question I have a question.
Yep.
Does New Zenler have any stats on the kind of lessons that customers prefer? Video or text or PDFs?
No.
No. Okay.
We have stats and progress. Again, that's an area that I know the team are looking at as well. So there's quite a few things that they're looking at to improve on. I think all of the features, really, they're trying to just take them up a level now. So it's a matter of like, it's quite a big platform. So we're trying to get everything nice and stable and working as fast as it. There's no point in jumping the gun and adding a ton more features in if it's going to have knock-on effects like speed and those sort of things. We've got to get all that sorted out so you guys are happy with it as it is before we start adding new features. There are a few new features coming in pretty soon that will help you guys. I can't talk about them, haven't got permission to, but I think you're going to be happy with some of the features, and it's all again what you've asked for. So no, John, sorry.
I think what he was talking about is if there are any statistics on the consumer of the content, the student, as to what their preference for engaging with the content is, if it were via video versus PDF versus some other interaction. And if you had data that reveal that information to us.
Yeah, no, there's no breakdown of lectures consumption of media within the system.
I suppose we could find that on Google. I think Anna was waiting for me to finish my question.
Hello. Hi. Hello from all the way from Portugal. I have a question here that thank you very much anyway, David, for these workshops. Are brilliant, really. I'm just, really good service. And I set up a membership already. I managed to with some, I think it's working anyway. I sold out already. I sold 22 already, so it's fine. It's going okay. But I have a question. Is it possible? I know you're going to cover that later, but because I'm going to launch again, open again the membership soon. Is it for a subscription? Can you set up PayPal or not? Because I couldn't do it. Only Stripe. Then it wouldn't. If I do a normal course like I did, and I'm working on one now, automatically appears. Yes, PayPal and Stripe.
Yep.
Not for membership, for subscription. I mean.
Yeah. There's a problem with it's not really our end, but it's PayPal end with connecting to their sort of subscription reoccurring.
Okay.
Then Zenler, they're not happy with it, the way it's working. If we're not happy with it, we're not going to release it. But again, that's something that that they're looking at. At the moment, Stripe's the only way of holding subscription. As you saw, you put the subscription, you only get that option.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah. So hopefully it's something that we can, just shout, just send put it out as a feature release. I think it's already in there. Again, lots of these questions have been asked, and we're, lots of these new features have been put forward by you guys, and there's an ever-growing list. Like, as you could probably imagine, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and those guys are working to try to do the most asked for ones first. To please as many people. We're not going to please all the people all the time, but we can please as many as we can some of the time.
No, yeah, well, it was fine anyway. No one asked for PayPal. It was just me as putting the subscription up, and I couldn't find it, and I thought it was maybe me or okay. Thank you very much. Yeah,
that's okay. Miriam.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. I have several questions. One is with the language, because I'm from Spain, and then when I switch the language, my people said that they still see everything in English and they don't understand it. So they are not very happy with that, like emails or the live Zooms or like that. It appears in English. Can I switch that or not?
You have the option to change the language in the language area, but we realize there is some areas that probably need to be looked at. It's not part of these workshops. This is all course based, but realize that's more of a site page. But it definitely, I might run a workshop just showing people how to change the language of things, because it's a question that's asked all the time. And I know a lot of people have used things like Google Translate, which has done a fairly good job, but not brilliant. So I might do actually a video rather than do a workshop. I'll probably do a video on it. That way everybody can see it and I can put it on the group. So leave it with me, but yes, I'll sort it for you.
Okay, another question is similar to Norma, because here in Spain, we have certain taxes that we need to include. So it depends if they are a business or not. They pay certain taxes. So it's not going depending if they are a business or they are a particular. What I mean? So I don't know if you have something like that. So I can set that in the checkout page.
Yeah, well, what we have at the moment, I mean, if it's not in there, Miriam, have you been to the tax area inside the site? Hello?
I think I have a look, but I'm not sure if there's something else.
Okay, so you've gone into site, you've gone into the tax there, yeah? And we can enable EU VAT in here. And you can also add a VAT ID during checkout. At the moment, that's the only options we have. If you want any other options, you'll have to send an email to support@zenler.com. Hello? I think she's dropped off. So I've got...
I'm beginning again, sorry.
That's all right. Did you see that video?
It's my internet, it goes down and all that, but you just answer me and I will see the replay later.
Okay. Well, I'll be on the replay page, so yeah, good. Right. So I've got Martina next. Do you want to?
Hi, David. Thank you very much for this. I'm really needing to clarify some things, and it comes at the right time. I have existing courses on different platforms. They're curriculum based, but now with things having changed, I am offering more of the live. I've been running live webinars because the platform was a little intimidating and I didn't know how to actually take the courses that I have and actually integrate them. And so I spent months and months and months trying, and then I kind of gave up and I said, let me focus on the on running live webinars. So my question is for you. I have a live class that I want to start on the 13th, but ran into some problems. I created it, but didn't know how to pull everything else together. It's a 30-day, it's a health challenge. And I already have people that want to sign up, but they're waiting now because I have to get everything together. So it's a 30-day health challenge course.
Mm-hmm.
It's discounted because it's a course I normally teach. And there are 4 consecutive weekly live classes. Now I've been looking on memberships and I said, okay, well, maybe I should do it as like a 1-page or a membership. But I'm really, I need help. So should I run it as, because the class is it's 4 consecutive weeks, and they won't have access to come back in and view anything. It's like, it'll keep going. So should that be a scheduled class, or how do I do that?
Best methods. I mean, everybody works in a different way, but what I would, you basically, these students are coming in, they're doing 4 weeks, and then you're removing them basically. Yeah.
Yeah, they will be at the end of that program. It's a challenge. It's a health challenge.
Do you want to keep them in? Do you want to keep them in that course so they can go back and watch the content?
At the end, probably, yeah, so they can go back and review.
Right. Okay. So if you want to keep the students in there and you don't want to unenroll them from the course so that you could reuse the course, then what I would suggest is you create that as a course and you create it as a curriculum. Did you take part in Kevin's blog challenge?
Because of my schedule, because I'm on Eastern time, and there was a conflict there. I signed up, but I didn't get a chance to. Is there a way I can go back and watch those?
No, it's just the way that he did it is pretty much what you want to do. So what he did, and I'm going to be showing different ways to do this sort of stuff, especially with the membership, because membership's all about workshops and lives. So what he basically did was create a course. Just a simple course like we just did. And what he did was he put in day 1, he called the section day 1. Then he called the next section day 2, and day 3 and day 4. Okay. You could do it week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. Inside there, he then got people, and you could get people, ours are free, of course. Everything we do at Zenler is free, but you could charge. When they come into the course, all you do is open the first one up. So you put a lesson into week 1 and you give them the link. You'll tell them the time and the date that's happening. And then you can set up a live class and you can enroll them. You can put them in there, put the link in there. They can go to it, completed week 1. Then you go to week 2 and you put the information in there and you just repeat and recycle. And then you've got a whole course. When you get to the end of it and they finished, you can then clone that course, okay? And you can then resell it to new people, and you can make the other course secret. So what will happen is only one course will show, but the students that are already enrolled in it will get access to it, but other people won't because it's secret. You could also turn the pricing off if you wanted to. I'm going to cover all of that. But that is a simple way of doing it. There's 100 different ways of doing this stuff. So that's why I was asking you, are they going to stay in there? Are they going to be able to actually see the workshops after, or are you going to remove them? Because if you're going to remove them, you could unenroll them all, and then you could use the same one.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yeah, it does. It's a lot. It's a whole lot.
Yeah, well, it's easier to show you actually than to sometimes explain stuff. That's what I was trying to do stuff on video and explain it. Actually physically show you, and you'll be like, that's why, that's how it is. But yeah, stay with me on these workshops, and we will get to that. If you've already created your courses, just jump in. That you don't have to go to all the workshops. If you're already quite good with your creating all of the stuff, you could jump into the membership one that we're doing,
Okay, but I still need to understand the platform and actually integrating other courses that I have. So I'll continue with everything.
Yeah,
Do
and
you
also
think
the good thing about live workshops is you guys are asking questions, and sometimes it really rings a bell with a lot of you. So you go, oh yeah, I needed to do that last month or this month. So it's really good because people are asking the common questions. We're getting feedback again on certain things that we need to get sorted out. So it helps us as well. So it's a big sort of circle. It all goes around together. So
David, a question about courses that already exist, but on a different platform, say Thinkific. When I jumped in a year ago, and my big course was on Thinkific, support was able to bring it into Zenler, and then I had to do the final touch-ups. Are they still doing that?
Yes, yeah. Thinkific and Teachable. We bring in, not Udemy. We used to do with Udemy. In fact, I got in, I think, just before the radar. I had a lot of courses on Udemy, and they brought them all across. And then Udemy sort of like stopped all that happening, so we couldn't connect. But we can still do that with Teachable and Thinkific. Yeah. So I think
that's very powerful, by the way, for anybody else who has stuff outside. Saves you so much time.
Yeah, it's a good thing. So I've got. Right, Dana, you've been waiting a while.
Hi, everyone. David, thanks for leading the workshop. What a great amount of people here today to benefit from what you're doing. So thank you. I want to make sure that I understand what you're saying about creating course and then creating a membership, because that way I know that I'm doing this correctly. Am I to understand that by creating a course and charging for it, ultimately, I'll be able to give a student an opportunity to be in a subscription membership-based relationship with me after that? Is that what you're saying? Am I missing something? Am I in the wrong place? Thank you.
No, that's all right. No, I mean, it depends what you're doing, Dana, because like if you're running, you probably got a clear idea. Some people want to have a membership area, and inside that membership area, there might be a few courses in there. Okay. They also might want to add new, just like we do for the NZ Masterclass bundle. We add new courses, and it just builds up, almost like a membership site. The other thing is, if you're going to set it up as a standalone course and you're going to charge them, then you're not going to be able to then suddenly turn that to a subscription course. You're going to have to create a membership area and bring them into there. Now, saying that, some people do both. So some people have a membership area that has courses in, but those courses are also outside the membership area, and they're selling them as individual courses. So it really is flexible. As we go on to the membership section, Dana, I'll try to cover every sort of conceivable angle that you might be looking at it, and make it clear as to what's going in. Again, when you see it, then it will be much easier to visualize. Yeah, I'm going to do some little graphics as well, so hopefully that helps.
I think I'm with you. I think we just decided, my team and I decided to just launch a course, because ultimately we want to have a membership area that works as a home base, and then they can go into choose their courses. But because we're behind, or we're not behind, but we're just trying to figure it out. So launching with a course, whether it's free or charging, whatever, I would charge for anything, but I think is the good way to go. So I don't think I have to worry. I think I'm in the right place. And you answered my question. Yeah, absolutely. It's like something, it's quite flexible, the system, but you do have to think about some key things that you want to achieve. And this is really important. If you are thinking about running a membership site only for subscription, then be careful, be careful. It's like me at the moment, I charge about £100 for each of my courses, which is really cheap for the amount of content I give them, but it's fun. So that's why I do it. But now I'm at a stage where I'd like to bring in revenue. I'd like to bring in constant revenue each month. So I'm trying to set a membership area up, but I want to reuse the content I've already got. And it's really hard because now I'm like, well, I've got students in there. How am I going to get them across there when they've already paid their money for that and make it so that it's a membership? So for me, it's a nightmare. But you guys that are starting off from scratch, you can
you can shape it. You can say, this is where I'm going. This is what I want to do. And you can then make that work. So like me, I wish I'd set my courses up inside a bundle, because then I could have added more courses and got them to buy into it. But I didn't do that. So I've now got to figure a way of talking to, luckily, most of my students are really good and have followed me for years. So they don't kind of mind paying a little bit of money per month.
When you say bundle, do you mean subscription, membership? Sorry, I want to make sure that I understand the language.
Yeah, no, a course bundle. So a bundle means that I can add courses to it. So I have, if I've got a bundle, I've got the flexibility of using the course access page of the bundle plus course access pages of all of the courses. Now, if that doesn't make sense to you at the moment, yeah, it shouldn't, because we're going to cover that when we get to memberships. But don't worry, it's all right. What you're doing is right. Yeah, if you want to run a course and sell it at the price to get it out there, then do that. Just move forwards with it,
Thank you.
David, I've got a question about memberships, just following up on what Dana just said, because I wanted to have a membership, almost like a football club, for instance, where you got lots of fans who get free content. You got a few players who are taking courses, and you got experts, or so the elite players who are doing much more stuff, and you'd have some coaches in there as well. Is it possible to set up multiple payment levels in a membership? And this is a question to Park for the membership workshop.
What's up, Chris? What's going on?
Who's that? Yeah, John. I don't know. I'm not going to get that deep into it. I think some of these questions will be answered when we start working through the membership section, and then bring that back, because I don't want people. There's probably people in here that just want to do a course, and they're like, everyone's talking about memberships, and they're talking about bundles, and talking about this, and it's not. You've got to get into it, simplify it all down. Let's just create a course. Let's get a course together so you understand all those main elements. From there, once you have a full understanding of it, we can talk about the other things. And that way it's going to be a lot clearer for you, and you're going to have that foundation to kind of work on. So John, wait for the membership section.
Okay,
yeah?
Thanks.
Yeah. Who else? Christina? You've got your microphone off.
Hi, David. Can you hear me now?
Hi, yeah.
Oh, thank you. I basically wrote you on the chat and found the nerve to just unmute and speak. I have a very basic question, and basically it's like this. I joined your program 3 or 4 months ago. Then I had some things that I needed to deal with in my life, but I have written a course. I have a fairly healthy social media following on Facebook and Instagram. And I even started a beta test with a small group of people. Now I'm actually ready to launch a course, and I am very clear about where I want to go. And I do want eventually a membership. So my question is, would your suggestion be just to go through the tutorials one at a time? And I just don't know where to begin. I'm a fairly quick learner, fairly tech savvy. Just want to know where to begin so I can catch up with everything and be able to launch properly.
When are you planning to launch, Christina? Can you wait the 7 weeks?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, July 1st or end of June into July, like that beginning of summer area.
Right. Okay.
I just want to be,
Yeah.
I want to have everything covered and launch professionally and have everything covered.
Yeah. Well, this is going to be really good for you, because we're going to run for everything. And so that basically means that you're going to have a really good foundation to decide what you want to do, whether you want to turn it, charge for a single price for it, or you want to run everyone into a membership site. It's really good that you're also beta testing as well. So you've got all those things in place. So now you've got to make that decision on what you're going to do. And that's why the workshops are going to help you. And probably the most important workshop that you need to attend is the membership one, which could run over it could run over 2 weeks, just because I can say, like, so many people are all about the membership and running live workshops and things. And there's so many different aspects to it. and to cover them all. I want to cover them all really thoroughly. So I think that's going to be the best bet for you. If you need to get something out sooner, if you can write down a kind of plan of what you want to achieve and send that to me, then I can make sure that I get the information over to you. Okay. I do.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Yeah, just
thank you. So is that by email and I find you on the site?
Yeah,
how do I
PM me on the Facebook group.
Okay.
David Zenler on there, and yeah, and let me know. Just write the plan down, and I'll probably do a video of it showing how it works, just so that it helps everybody. I don't do like one-to-one sessions. We try to do group workshops, so it helps as many people as possible. So I always put the video onto like Ask Zenler or Zenler FBH or something, so it helps other. And I'll probably put it into the complete guide to Zenler as well, because I know I need to add quite a lot for lives and things into that course, because it's just such a big question. And I'm in that same thing myself. I'm thinking about doing more live workshops and, you know, charging to run a series of lives. I will say one thing to you, that we are developing new things for the live, like things like reoccurring lives, and also running lives from within lessons and things like that. So there's more to come on that, but that's going to be brilliant. That's going to be so good for you.
That's great. Thank you so much, because I actually do a lot of live videos. I'm a spiritual leadership coach, so I do meditations and live meditations on the Facebook group that I'm beta testing right now. They're already all in there, but I believe the new Zenler integration will be taking my programs a step above. So I thank you so much for this, and I will reach out on the Facebook group. So thank you.
Brilliant. Cheers, Christina. So Martina, you've got a question?
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize it was still up. But you answered some of my other the other questions that I had, which it's still a little foggy, but maybe I should reach out to you. I also had a question because I was trying with the integration for PayPal. I couldn't find the PayPal client ID, but I guess maybe that's on that side, the other side. I am not doing, you said that if you're doing memberships, PayPal doesn't support that, you know, recurring payments.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not doing that right now, but may at some other point. But it should be able to if it's just a one-time payment, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I think the dev team are working on reoccurrings for PayPal. Rakesh was in on this. I'm not sure he's in the group. Otherwise, he would have answered a few questions. So, yeah, maybe that's something that I can cover with him on Monday, which tomorrow, isn't it? Monday. So tomorrow, 10 a.m. I'm on with Rakesh. So if you can get on there. Otherwise, I'll try to ask that myself. I've got a transcript. Guys, I know you've put quite a lot in the chat, and I tend to I'm terrible with chat. I don't look at it because it takes so long. I'm just looking over at chat and not speaking. It's not very good for a live. So I know you've put some questions in there, so I'll come back to you on that. I'll look at the chat afterwards and run through some of these. But that is about it for today. So you guys now have got that check sheet, you know, so try and get some of those things done. Next week, we're going to start with part 1 of the course creation. So we're going to go and actually put names in there. We're going to actually go and I'm going to show you some free software like Canva and Pixel Art to actually resize some of our images. So we get really nice, sharp images, not blurry images. I'm also going to, someone's asked about the branding and design course, which I was saying is a good one to watch. So I'm going to quickly share that now. Yeah, you just need to go to tutorials.newzenler.com. You need to scroll down the page till you find this enroll to all of these. Okay, you need to go in there. As soon as you've enrolled, you just need to scroll down the page when you're in the course access page, and you're going to see this course. It's really short. I advise just watching the branding blitz that Ian does, just to give you an idea about how you can sort of work out your market and those sort of things. Maybe watch a few lectures of me doing a case study with William Seong, whose website we rebranded, to give him some ideas, and just look at some of the examples in there. You don't need to spend a ton of time, just go through it, scroll through it, just look some of the examples to give you more kind of inspiration for your own sites, and especially for the course sales page. I mean, we're doing this anyway. I'm going to be building this in front of you. And I'm always going to open it up so you can ask questions as I'm doing stuff as well. So it's going to be fully open. Course creation part 1 is going to be next week, and then part 2, and then we can get into the juicy stuff like you guys have been talking about, all the membership sites and tiers and all this sort of stuff, languages. I'll bring some of this up with office hours tomorrow with Rakesh. So yeah, so it's great. I'm so happy to see you all here. It's really good, and we're going to have a lot of fun moving forwards through this, so I can't wait. So thanks guys for turning up on Sunday. Really appreciate it. And I'll see you all soon.
10 a.m. tomorrow, what time zone?
BST. What time is it tomorrow? It's 2 a.m. PDT time.
Okay.
That's a bit early, isn't it? You can watch the replay though. It will be on the Facebook group. All right, John, or email me. You know. All right, guys, take care. See you later.